the Tuesday edition. The I Feel Fantastic edition.
That I'd be able to do. Do you know how long?
We do not have a conference
Yeah, I
room,
do that.
but maybe
Is this you?
someone else does.
Okay.
Edition.
Yep.
The 34-0 edition. Complete in all three phases as the Packers beat the New Orleans Saints 34-0 on Monday Night Football edition. And the Do you drink tea? And if so, why? Edition of Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson, who I saw yesterday at the Tundra Trio, is celebrating Christmas Eve with his, can't remember if it was his family or Becca's family. I think it's Becca's family today. And from an undisclosed location with no video, a man who could have started the post-game show at halftime but didn't. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and to Paula and the girls and to Jesse and to Youngster. This is very interesting. So yesterday I got you that great gift of Hansel and Gretel, leaving breadcrumbs, the poster. I'm still in Green Bay. We decided to do the show separately today because old boy ain't feeling too good. He's a little phlegmy.
Under the weather, some might say.
Who do you think the manager of the hotel, and she is going to get me in, I'm out in the middle of like a ballroom right now. I'm going to get into a conference room at the next break. What do you think her name was?
Gretel.
Can you believe that? I'm not making this up. It's legit. And then I made the sanctimonious, all right, well, where's Hansel? And she gave me the eye roll of, oh, my God. I
never heard that one before.
You just asked that question. Yeah, and then I followed up with that. So it's almost as if it was destiny for me to be here on Christmas Eve doing this show with Gretel and with Hansel over in the other part of Green Bay.
Well, I have good news for her because I left my cherished poster at the Tundra Trio. So if Sarah and the kids want to swing by and grab it, you could re-gift it to her because I'm sure that would mean a lot to her.
I feel like that's really rude.
To give it to Gretel?
No, just to not take it. You don't have to like a gift, but you could fake it a little bit, right?
We are nothing if not honest on this show.
Riley, can we not? I get a heartfelt gift, something for Jason that I honestly felt like this. Yes, I really felt like, God, we have been saying this. And with all of the Rodgers stuff in the old days, this was something that I thought was a show thing. It was a vintage poster. It's nice. And Jason says, I'm just going to dump it in the dumpster. That hurt my feelings a little bit.
It's not in the dumpster. It's not in the dumpster. It's not in the dumpster yet.
Riley, am I being just way too sensitive here and just say Jason didn't like it, he wants to start? You could at least use it for kindling for a s'mores party later if that's something.
So you would like me to burn it?
I don't just take it home with you. Don't just disrespect it to the point where you just leave it at the Trio. And it's now maybe it'll end up being a great piece of Wilde And Tausch, part of the Hall of Fame that'll be over at the Trio. I don't know.
Sure, there
that
you go.
Could be something.
In the basement, most likely.
All right, we'll move on. My feelings are very hurt, but I'll get over it and we'll move on.
I'm sure they are. I'm very excited because I don't know what time you started the postgame show last night, the Green Bay game night. I didn't join until after my very weak-voiced question to Matt LaFleur.
A little under the weather there, Jason.
But I joined at like 10. I joined at like 12:30ish. What time did you start?
Mm-hmm.
It was 20. It was 21-0 after 3 series. You could have started it in the first half, but you didn't.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I will ever start one until after halftime. Last night we could have, but obviously being at the game and not wanting to leave uber early, we ended up. I left at 7 minutes to go in the game. Got to the houses and started in the ESPN Wisconsin trailer that's at the Tundra Trio, probably with about 5 minutes left in the game. It was 27-0. And I told Homer, had I not been at the game, we would have started mid-third quarter. Because usually we discussed this and we've had this all, we talked about it all week. Nobody was really juiced. We knew that the Green Bay Packers were going to win the game. It was just a matter of how well they were going to play. How well they were going to execute, and then by how much. That was kind of where I was at. And I think part of me normally has this feeling of anytime, like the Bears game a couple weeks ago, you kind of had that feeling that the bucket, you just don't know. And that always makes me as a former player a little queasy. But this was just a different vibe, and this is a different team. And I think this team is peaking and playing its best football. They didn't make mistakes. They did what a young team that you want to see grow up did. They just suffocated and gave that team no hope. And by about the middle of the second quarter, you knew, get the flight ready, get the buses going. These boys want to get back to the Bayou. The Packers want to go celebrate and get ready for Christmas and get ready for the Minnesota Vikings. And that's kind of how it all played out. So it was one of those kind of scripted games. This is what we thought would happen. Now the shutout component and how inept New Orleans offense was against this defense, that was the real, I think, plus for me. We're going to do big pluses today. That's it for me. Edgerrin Cooper, what he's doing for this defense. But just a yeoman's professional. We have grown up in front of your eyes, and we are ready to make some noise. That's what it was last night at Lambeau for me.
All right, so put it in perspective for us, because you just sent me a tweet from Dan Orlovsky, who is taken aback by folks that are now seeing the Packers as a Super Bowl contender, claiming essentially that he's been on top of them the whole time. Did what you saw last night deliver?
I don't know if I
proof?
I don't know if I'd fully agree with Dan's assessment. He's been up and down. The Jordan Love turnover era of the injuries, the defense not being able to rush the passer. And listen, this is a team that can win a Super Bowl. And I said this all throughout the postgame last night. And I think as we sit here today, I don't think there's any team that's playing head and shoulders above where Green Bay is. Our last couple of games, you could say, well, who have they played? And okay, fair criticism. Seattle was a playoff team when they played them on the road on a Sunday night. But everybody is coming together. You just feel it. And does that mean they're going to win a Super Bowl? No, there's only one team that does. But there is no doubt they're good enough to go through the gauntlet you're going to have to get there. That's the big question. The other question is, you had this signature win. I don't think there's been a signature win on this schedule. You have literally lost to the teams that everybody thought you would or thought you could, and you've beaten every team that you should. It's you typically don't see that script play out in the NFL. There's typically a couple of big, an upset here, or you don't play well and you get smashed. None of that. That's what's been so fun to watch this team. But this is a team that can definitely do the whole thing. And they're also a team that could go out to Los Angeles and lose in the first round. That is the beauty of the NFL and the playoffs. And until you find a way to beat a really good football team, people are going to continue to have those questions. And I think they're very fair to have it. Watching this team as closely as we have, I think this is a team that is just getting better at the right time. They're healthy, and a lot of other teams aren't. And that's why my optimism is as high as it is.
We'll get to your positives and negatives. Riley is standing by for your calls. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Now, on the flip side of that, despite the voice in which the question was asked, we learned that Evan Williams is going to be sidelined. and they're hoping to have him back for the playoffs, was Matt LaFleur's quote. We'll hear that later. But
is it
Zane
a hammy,
Anderson,
or what is it?
It is a quad, is what he was listed with on the injury report.
Okay.
But Zane Anderson played very well in his place last night. Christian Watson undergoing some tests today.
Well, that pick, that interception he threw, what a terrible decision by Rattle. Old Radley.
The Rattler.
He's got the wide open under route on the other side. He's got the easy throw. What is he doing? Great job by Zane to stay where he was supposed to be, but that was just god-awful by Rattle.
So that's perfect, because that sets up the question I wanted to ask you, which is, I was on this program when they dominated the now eliminated from playoff contention Arizona Cardinals and said they stink. And then they won 4 in a row. These guys stink worse. Without Derek Carr, without Chris Olave, without Alvin Kamara, fired their coach after a 7-game losing streak. So what do we take from this game? I'm going to take a phrase that Gabe Neitzel used a couple weeks ago, saying that he didn't feel like we had proof of concept that the Packers are a Super Bowl contender. Did we get that last night despite the inferiority of the opponent?
Yes. And the reasoning I say is, you could say, well, the Saints stink. Yeah, no blank. Their best players are injured. But you saw the growth of a young team that last night had all the makings of, and I'm not saying a trap game, but we don't have to be at our best to win. It was let's just go about our business, and it was just professional. I would look at if we did the one-word game, professional. Everything was professional last night, from the makeup of the stadium to how they approached it to every phase of the football game. You didn't turn it. I don't think Green Bay turned it over. It was very close. The big fella almost made a great pick, but you created turnovers. You pressured back, stopped the run pretty effectively. You ran the football. Like, what could you possibly pick at from last night's game other than the fact they did what they were supposed to do? And that's what championship level professional teams do. You do what you're supposed to do consistently. We're starting to see that. So, Gabe can say the only way you can prove it is by going out and doing it. You can have a great regular season. 14-2 Chargers, Marty Schottenheimer, great regular season, proof of concept, all these teams throughout the year, and then they lose a playoff game, and nobody's talking about proof of concept. So, I mentioned last night Homer saying it was a must-win Sunday against the Vikings. I said, no, it's not, because we had a must-win game, and you were there for this, Jason. We were up in the Metrodome to win the division, to get home field. We had to have it, and we found a way to do it. And it was great. We celebrated. We had a great Christmas. And then 2 weeks later, we get mooned out of the stadium, and nobody gives 2 rips about that game. Because
it's true.
The bottom line on this is you go through all this, and you try to position yourself to give the odds and the analytics the best opportunity to go. But you have to perform when the money and the lights are its brightest. And that's going to be in a couple weeks. This will be a big game. Is this going to matter if Green Bay goes and beats Minnesota and ends up still at the 6th seed? No, it won't. Will it if they get to the 5? Maybe. But you're still going to have a 3-game road slog to try and get this done. And the more important thing is how you look and how you're playing. And right now, that test has been passed with flying colors the last couple weeks. And now the test, I said this on the postgame last night, and I think you'll like this. Not all math tests are the same. I can say, man, I just crushed this math test. And it could be first grade, basic addition, subtraction. And I can say, man, I'm really good at math. Well, then I can get to advanced trigonometry and I stink. That's where this Packers team is at right now. Where are they at in the math scale? Are they really good at math? They've proven they're really good at elementary math. Have we gotten where we can break down cosines and do all these algorithms and break down heavy algebra and big time? I don't know. We'll find out. But this test on Sunday is going to be a heck of a lot more challenging than the very rudimentary test that we saw last night.
I absolutely love that. That is really good. Certainly love it better than my gift. Tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, which always passes every test.
You jerk. You're such a jerk. Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The durability of these goods. Ooh, I got the wrong read, Jason. What am I talking about here? It's Santa time, isn't it?
The elves that constantly get
Santa
slandered
time?
this month.
Yeah, we got to get to. Why don't you help me out here, Jason?
I got a lovely gift from Gina Della last night that was delivered to me at the Tundra Trio.
What did you get?
It's a mug.
Is it Hansel
which I
and
could
Gretel?
put my tea in this morning. That is, it says
boy.
thank you
Well-
from Pella Window. I'm sorry, are you ready now? Or not really?
Ensure your home remains calm. Total post-holiday winter. And yep, Santa is busy. He's magical. He is ready to roll. He's going to get started here shortly. But elves, they aren't qualified to build those pellet windows. We need them. There's too many options, too many customizations. So instead, give the big red fella a night off. Take advantage of this deal. It's $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends New Year's Eve. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
We'll give you our positives and negatives, and then we'll get yours. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Our overarching question, besides do you drink tea and how do you like it? Because 52 years in, I finally drank a cup of it last night. I don't understand the appeal, but I was desperate. The big question, though, was this win proof of concept, thank you, Gabe Neitzel, that the Packers are a Super Bowl contender? Or was it just a dominate? Because it was as thorough of a victory, and there haven't been many games like that, whether it was in the Mike McCarthy era or in the Matt LaFleur era, where it is that dominant in every phase. Is that proof, or is that just dominating a really crummy opponent? 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I am going to try and be economical with my words. Never a strength of mine. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut, where the number 7 just got luckier. You already know how much I love Pizza Hut, but have you heard about Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu? Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With the $7 Deal Lovers menu, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have them both. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Unwrap exceptional offers during the Season of Audi sales event. Get financing as low as 1.9% APR on select new 2024 Audi models. Save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus and an additional $1,500 with the Season of Audi customer credit. Offer subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. See dealer for details. Offer ends January 2nd. You'll find an excellent selection of new and certified pre-owned Audis at Audi Madison. Check out AudiMadison.com or stop in and test drive at Audi Madison today. Off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. And again, you can win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
This fire is nice, but so are your eyes. They twinkle when you smile. Ain't felt this warm in a while. That northern star shines straight from your heart. Your looks
it is the Christmas Eve edition of Wilde and Tausch. All I want for Christmas is proof of concept that the Packers are a Super Bowl contender. Did you get it last night? Special teams. Keyshawn Nixon returning the opening kickoff for a big gain, and it turned out to be the only kickoff of the game. But also, Anders Carlson missed a field goal and an extra point for the Jets. Braden Narveson missed a field goal for the Titans and then got cut on Monday. Brandon McManus, perfect. He's missed 1 kick since he got here. A 46-yard field goal against Detroit back on November 3rd. The defense, 196 yards allowed. Season low. A shutout, the first in the NFL this season. They are now 6th in the league in scoring defense. And, of course, the offense, running the ball effectively, scoring touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, just as Alex Strofe predicted on Green Bay Game Day pregame. Is this proof of concept, or is this just a win over a crappy team? Because despite Matt LaFleur's efforts to convince us otherwise, the New Orleans Saints aren't very good in their current incarnation. And a 14.5-point margin on the spread wasn't nearly enough. So, Tausch, what was your biggest positive coming out of the game? And then we'll get to negatives.
I said it already, the professionalism and the approach that this entire team, you could get into the personal side, the offensive line, playing a really good game. Josh Jacobs not allowing himself to be tackled by one person. There was just, you could go through a litany of people and team, different units on this team. But I just was thoroughly impressed with how workmanlike and this is what we need to do. Let's go and do a blanket job and go celebrate Christmas. That was the approach, and they executed it at a really high level. So that, to me, was the biggest positive of the night. I can't, in good faith, sit here and say, well, the defense was great. Their offense stinks. But it was their approach and how they didn't give. A lot of times you will let up a little bit. We've been asking for, let's get a four-quarter game. And I would bet if you asked the offense and Jordan Love if we played a great game, they'd say no. They would say, no, we left some stuff out there. There were some empty possessions and some things. So, yeah, I didn't hear that, but I just assumed that's the attitude you want. So I just love where this team's at mentally, their approach to what they're doing. And last night was one of those. It could have been something different, but it was exactly what you as a coach and as fans of this team would want to see. Just you took what you were supposed to do and you went out and did it. That is not always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from, but I'm going to take a little bit of low-hanging fruit. I mentioned Brandon McManus. I mean, he kicked a 55-yard field goal, which he is not known as a long-distance big leg guy, exactly. He also made a 46-yarder. He made all of his extra points. And I thought the juxtaposition between what he was doing and the guys that they moved on from, both missing kicks in their games over the weekend, was pretty striking.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but this is more about what we're doing.
Well, but you
could start looking at it. Well, what did Aaron Jones do last night? I get what you're saying.
Here's why I'm saying it, though, Tausch, and tell me that I'm wrong. That's the kind of stuff, that's the difference between being a team that advances in the playoffs and a team that doesn't, right? I mean, we have Anders Carlson's 41-yarder in San Francisco or Santa Clara last year as the example, right? He makes that kick, they're up a touchdown. Do they win that game? I don't know, but they have a better chance of winning it if he kicks a very makeable 41-yard field goal. Brandon McManus is now 27 for 27 on extra points, 16 of 17 on field goal attempts. He's kicked 2 walk-off game winners. Like, say what you will, and I don't think he's a long-term answer. I don't know how long he's going to. And we could credit Goody for cutting bait. We could also criticize him for not having better options before this. But the bottom line is now, when the money's on the table, he's got a guy he could believe in.
Yeah, everybody trusts him. I don't even look now. It used to be with an extra point, it's like, oh, boy.
Right.
Now it's like, yeah, it's good. And whether or not that will continue on, I would disagree. I think McManus is going to be in high demand as this thing goes. So maybe he'll price himself out of Green Bay. But of all people, I would think Goody is looking at saying, man, if I got something that's really steady and now we know we're in this championship window, ride it. And he has been everything he had hoped for, and he's stabilized and really, I think, helped not only just the point-getting part of special teams. You need to have a kicker to solidify your whole group. He's done that. That special teams group's confidence, and I'm guessing they're going to be ranked as high as any special teams unit the Packers have had when they come out with that Gooseland article. I'm guessing it's going to be one of the best seasons that we've seen from the special teams out of the Green Bay Packers. And that's not saying a lot because we've been 33rd in a 32-person league before. So we're going to continue to see that, and that's where you always think, well, we're so good on offense. Just think of the Rodgers era where, we're so good on offense. This is but our special teams, this San Francisco year, you get beat at home. You don't feel any of that right now. We always felt that. Special teams going to cost you. But we'll be able to overcome it. We're good. 1 or 2 mistakes in the postseason cost you your playoff life. Right now, you don't feel like there's that glaring, oh, my God. Matter of fact, we did a Festivus. What is your biggest grievance with this team right now? And after last night, the biggest grievance is you don't have a signature win. You don't have that big boy win yet on the calendar. That's not their fault. I mean, they could have beaten Detroit. They could have done this. They haven't yet. But as far as if I'm looking individually where we're at with this team, there isn't one spot that I'm looking at saying, this is going to be the Achilles heel of why this team doesn't get it done. I don't have that as we sit here on Christmas Eve.
Tausch, I have one Achilles heel. Maybe not necessarily an Achilles heel per se, but
well, you just said you had an Achilles heel.
I know. I spoke too soon. I got out in front of my skis, you could say. But
that never happens on this show.
No, thankfully. I don't like how it seems the Packers burn a timeout at least once per game in the first quarter. It's really frustrating. And it seems that's a consistent theme of needlessly using a timeout in the first quarter. I don't know if you guys have seen the same thing.
Listen,
I feel like you are picking some nits today, bro.
Yeah. Riley, I would say I'm much more concerned about second half timeouts than I am first half.
Correct.
And I didn't see last night. I don't think he butchered a challenge. That has been a big concern of mine with Matt. No. He didn't do it, and it didn't matter last night. But if you want to get into that, I am not concerned about that. I don't think that is where the team will win or lose a championship. So no. And the fact that the NFL is basically taking over all challenges anyways, even if that was a little bit of a calf pull, I wouldn't say it's an Achilles tear, a calf pull, now the league has almost wrapped it and said, we're going to really help you not continue to yank on your calf, if that makes any sense.
It does. Just to be clear, Brandon McManus is 33 years old. Mason Crosby is 40. So it's not like Brandon McManus doesn't have more years ahead of him still in the league. He can easily do that.
He's going to be a Packer.
But to your point, they're going to have to pay him now.
Yeah, and they should.
Yeah. All right, what's your negative?
Hey, listen, we don't need all this. You have a team that you think can win a championship. Stop blanking around. It's not time to develop a young kicker.
Goody's the one who said if you have a championship team, you need a championship kicker.
And
he said it himself.
Hopefully this young man, this 33-year-old, is going to be the guy. Well, he didn't think they were a championship team last year, period. We know that.
That's true. We know that.
Now he does. And he's been just slaying it by bringing in people and Edger and Cooper. You're asking for a negative for me last night?
I am. That's what I'd like, yes.
It was not a very competitive or entertaining game to watch. Like, I'm just going to be super selfish because I don't have anything.
Entertain me.
I don't have anything from a team standpoint that makes me think, oh, that was really bad last night. So more walking over to the trio to do the post game with about 8 minutes left in the game. There are a lot of people leaving the game, and a lot of folks were saying, this is just Packer fans saying, boy, it sucks that we had a JV game tonight. Or I really like more entertaining games. And that's nobody's fault. It just is what it is. And last night was not the most entertaining game to watch. But I don't think that's a negative to the team. It's just a negative as a whole. We would like to – I mean, that was not a competitive game really from the jump. And we knew coming in it was going to be that way, and it wasn't. So from a fan experience standpoint, it's great being at Lambeau. Kids had a great time. Entertainment-wise, bleh, that was my negative.
We'll get to my half-voiced question to Matt LaFleur a little bit later, but the answer, as I always say, the answer is what matters, not the question. The answer was not encouraging. Evan Williams, who has been a difference maker for them, who has been a good player for them, left practice, injured on the first snap of practice apparently on Saturday. And Matt LaFleur, I don't know if he just felt sorry for me because I could barely talk at that point, basically saying that we're hoping to get him back for the playoffs. That's not ideal. And then Christian Watson hurts his knee on that run, is able to come back into the game, and then cannot stay in the game. And Matt LaFleur says afterward that there is concern, that it's and the juxtaposition of that versus what he said about Josh Jacobs, who we saw leave the game holding what it looked like his left wrist or his forearm, and then him saying, no, he was fine, we just didn't, there was no reason to put him back in the game.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like...
If that's how you felt about Watson, he would have said that too.
Fair.
And the fact that he didn't is concerning to me.
Fair, but I mean, with Christian, it's until he's not out there, he is, it seems like almost every game he goes off to the sideline.
A little bit of drama.
With a little something. So I'm not, until he's not suited up for the Viking game. I'm not going to lose any sleep over Christmas about it.
All right, those are our positives and negatives. Now it's time for yours, along with our question. Was this proof of concept that the Packers are a Super Bowl contending team? 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. I know Riley is taking all of your calls. Be patient with him. He's not as veteran savvy as Jesse Nelson is. 844-770-3776. Speaking of numbers to call, you know the number to call that you need to call if you've been injured in an accident. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. What number is that? You know it. It's Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. David and his team just got his Christmas card in the mail the other day. He's been a great friend to me. He's been a great supporter of the show and a great partner. But what's really important is he's great at making sure that he and his lawyers get proper compensation for you if you've been injured. So go to gruber-law.com to find out more about the firm and make the call if you need to. Hopefully you don't have to, but if you need to, 414-276-6666, Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. Your calls, more of your voice, less of mine. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
The NBA on Christmas Day. Tip-off for the Spurs and Knicks is at noon Eastern.
Do what you want on Christmas.
Followed by the Timberwolves and Mavericks.
Christmas gives away.
A Christmas Day doubleheader on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Monday, February 24th for Andy North Trivia Night, presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and in addition to the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6 p.m. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Wilde And Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Oh, yeah. I said, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing a bushels of
The Yelpster is compiling your calls, curating, if you will. So let's get to them. 844-770-3776. You're positive, you're negative. And was this, in your mind, proof of concept that the Packers are a Super Bowl contender? Or did they just beat a bad team? Thoroughly. They beat them thoroughly. But did they just beat a bad team? Let's get to the calls. Again, 844-770-3776. Let's start with Jeff in Milwaukee. Jeff, good morning. Welcome to Wilde And Tausch. How are you?
How are you guys? Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you, sir. The same to you.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Jeff.
So this, the win was a nice win. It is not proof of concept to me. Not even close because the team they were playing was so bad. If I could have just a few minutes, I got a couple of thoughts.
Hey, Jeff, the more minutes you take, the fewer minutes I take talking. So go right ahead.
Okay, thanks. Okay, and Jason, by the way, the shorts yesterday, quite a move on those. Nice.
I don't think the two things are related. By the
Jeff,
way,
what about the sandals with the white athletic socks?
That's you know what? Not everybody can get away with that. It's a tough thing to get away with. Yeah, it was a good look.
Very critical. Of
was I supposed to go without socks at all? Because the last time I did that,
put some tennis shoes.
I never lived it
Maybe
down.
Throw some tennis shoes on.
Some loafers.
You do you, Jason. All right, Jeff. What do we got? You do.
Okay,
you,
so here's the
That's
thing.
the new motto of the show.
Here's the thing. So a couple things. They will beat the Vikings next week. They will, and the reason is they need to prove it to themselves. They've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they need to prove it to themselves. They will beat the Vikings. All right, I'm just my prediction, and I'll call in the post-game show, and I'll remind Tausch that I predicted it. Okay, that's number one.
What time will it start?
Unfortunately, we'll get to that in a second. The positives of the game are the offensive and defensive lines. The offensive line just continues to just place. I mean, Tausch is an offensive lineman. It's got to be so fun for you to watch this team. Other than the beginning of the Detroit
Sean Ryan last night, there's a couple of clips on Twitter already about it, where he is securing that down guy and then great angle up to the backer. I believe on the stiff arm to Honey Badger. It was a thing of beauty. And then you watch that pocket last night where Jordan was just patting and bouncing.
Right.
It was, you're 100% right. Beautiful. Continue.
Yep. So my negative for the game, and I'm a huge fan of his, so I don't was Jordan Love. And my point is he's making good decisions, all that stuff. He is going, if we're going to make a playoff run, he is going to have to play better than he played. Because if we're going to make a playoff run, it can't just be Josh Jacobs. And Jordan's going to have to play at a level where he is a difference maker. And he missed Dobbs wide open on a deep route across the field. He luckily because they were playing a bad team, it didn't matter. But Watson was wide open, and he went to the flat. You know, he just And I love Jordan. And I think, Aikman talks about his pocket presence and all these little things that he does well, and he's right. But for them to make a run, he is going to have to play better. I mean, Tausch, you didn't see it because you were in the early edition of the post-game show, but the best throw of the night last night was from Malik Willis to Jaden Reed. I mean, he just threw a laser to him.
Saw it on clips.
That was a hell of a throw.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Jordan's got to play. He's got to be. They can't do it with one difference maker. He's got to be the second difference maker in the playoffs. And my only concern, honestly, going into the playoffs is, like, in tight games, my two biggest concerns, you guys, are Jordan and Matt LaFleur. And the reason why I worry about Matt is when the game gets tight, he gets tight. And I'm not sure that he always thinks clearly when it's crunch time. The final thing, it has nothing to do with the game. You guys spent a lot of time during the week talking about Enigma. I thought you guys did a great job. Jason, I want to compliment you. You shared some things that other people might not have, and it shows a lot of class on your part, and it shows a lot of honesty, and I think you did a really, really great job in your discussion with Tausch, and Tausch was holding your feet to the fire, but you were really, really honest and genuine, and I thought it was awesome. And as far as all these edits and trying to figure things out, guys, you can say what you want about Rodgers. The number one thing he is obsessed with is controlling the narrative. That's why I'm not even watching the show, because that's what I think the 3-part series is going to be about. In the end, it's going to be about controlling the narrative. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much. I love your show. You guys do an amazing job, and Merry Christmas.
Jeff, great call. We appreciate you with time. Thank you so much.
Rackham. Jeff's the best. Potential Hoffer, in my opinion. The Matt LaFleur part's interesting. And,
it is.
Jordan didn't play. Jordan didn't play great last night, right? I mean, he was okay. He did. He is now, and I think this is the nice part of it, he's starting to understand what it's going to take to win. I was very critical of him in that Texans game because he's doing some stuff where it's like, dude, if you don't turn the ball over, their offense stinks. He's understanding, I don't need to play hero ball. I'm doing it. So I'm not as down on him as maybe Jeff and some others are, because he's doing what we're asking. Have we seen the ability to still make big plays? And is he going to need an Atlanta Falcons playoff game like Aaron did in 2010 to get this team to a Super Bowl? Probably. We have to go to Detroit or Philly. You're going to have to score points. I know this defense is showing some good things. It ain't going to be a 20-point. It's not going to be 20-17. You're going to have to win 31-28. You're going to have to make plays in the passing game, and I have no doubt Jordan's there. The Matt LaFleur component, I think it's fair criticism. He has run with his emotions on too many occasions. Now he's getting that. I think coaching, typically in the playoffs, experience, I am not as big of a believer. Well, if you have a bunch of old salty veterans, they're going to want it more. They're also going to feel it more. Coaching, learning that experience, and learning, and like, man, I'm down 8. Maybe I go for it instead of not getting the ball back. Maybe I let my It's all about trying to figure out what your team needs and controlling your emotions and understanding what that game flow is going to look like and playing to that. I think Matt LaFleur is going to get better at that. He's still a young dude, and he's still a young coach, relatively speaking, but he is getting more and more experience, and he is going to need to be better than what maybe some of his lower moments this season have been.
Let's get to one more call before the break because we've got so many calls lined up. Again, get in on the conversation. The more you talk, the less you have to listen to me. 844-770-3776. Let's get to Mo in Illinois. Mo, good morning. Welcome to Wilde And Tausch. How are you, bud?
Good. Thanks, gentlemen. Hope you guys are well, and happy holidays to you both.
You too.
I just want to get to some positives and negatives here. Just a few players that really stood out to me. Josh Jacobs, obviously, bell cow. He looks amazing, and he sets the tone. He's a tone setter. Say what you will, he's a tone setter. His intensity, and I freaking love it. Brenton Cox is really rising to his own, and he's really becoming a really good pass rusher. And I think with the Preston Smith trade, he seems to be getting a lot more snaps than like Lucas Van Ness. I think Lucas Van Ness needs to play a lot better, but he needs to earn the trust of his coaching staff because right now they don't trust him. Dontavian Wicks regaining his confidence is huge. He had a release yesterday that reminded me of Devontae Adams, and unfortunately,
boy,
Saunders. It would have been a walk-in touchdown. And it really made me sad because, it just seems like one of my negatives is it seems like the offensive line, there's too many batted balls from the Saints defensive line. And Tausch, I'm sure you know this, don't the O-lineman coaches tell the lineman if a defensive lineman jumps and leaves his feet, you just smash his mouth. You go in through his mouth, out through his you-know-what, and put him on the ground.
Yep, you put your fist through his chest. Yep, fist through the chest.
Yeah, and I feel like that didn't really happen, but it's okay. They played well, all things considered. Sean Ryan is my favorite Packers lineman right now. This guy is so underrated. He does everything well in the passing game and the running game, and I'm so proud that he is the starting right guard for this Green Bay Packers team.
Mm-hmm.
But when we look at some of the negatives here, like I said, the batted balls from D-line, that was just pretty sad. But special team penalties continue to be a reoccurring theme. It's so frustrating. Like, only the Packers on a fair catch get a penalty of a holding call. Like, it just got up.
That's fair.
Like, it just has so infuriating. But listen, all I'm going to say is this: going into Minnesota next week, I cannot wrap my head around claiming that this team, based on yesterday's performance, is still Super Bowl caliber. I think they're capable of it, but they haven't beaten anybody worthy of that. So
isn't that Super Bowl, Mo? Isn't that Super Bowl caliber if they're capable of doing it? Isn't that where we're at?
You're just saying you don't have proof of it, is what you're saying, right?
But correct. It's one thing to be that caliber, Tausch, but it's another thing to prove it based on the teams that you're playing, beating high caliber teams. So if you go into Minnesota and you do that, sign me up. This team,
Okay.
I think they go all the way. Next week's going to be the test. So I'm excited. Go Pack, go. Let's ride.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks
excited
for the call,
too.
Mo.
It will be a fun game, and it will maybe change the hearts and minds of some Packer fans. But I assure you, if they go up to Minnesota and get beat late, you don't think that locker room still is going to think? You heard it after the Detroit game.
Right.
Let's get another crack at them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, guys, yes, you want to see that, and everybody is saying, well, you need this, you need this. That's a confident group. They played confident last night. Yes, you want to get that win, but they would trade. I would trade that division title and that great euphoric Christmas back in 2004 for us to beat the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau 100 out of 100 times.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, we felt great. Yeah, we felt great that we won and that we got to play at home, but we knew the Minnesota Vikings were good and we were going to have to play well again to beat them. We didn't. We did not play our best. They beat us, and it was a gut punch. So I just look at it from a different perspective. I know what that locker room is thinking, and they're thinking, we're really good. Don't you we will take on all comers, and we're going to have to. They already have the road warrior mindset. This will be a great test, no question, on Sunday. But I can assure you, if things don't go well Sunday, I'll be doing that post-game show. We'll be listening. Everybody will be down, and I'm going to be sitting there saying, all right, the proof of concept or whatever you want to say, it wasn't there today. That doesn't mean in 2 weeks it won't be. Now, the flip side of it, you can say, well, you haven't proven jack. You can't beat good teams. I'm not going to have an argument. But I know that this group and this coaching staff believes that they got what it takes to get this thing done.
Yeah, we can say as pundits or as fans that we want to see that, but the most important proof of concept or most important signature win is if you get it in the playoffs.
Playoff babies. Yep.
Like, it doesn't, like, in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter if they lose to the Vikings on Sunday
Probably
if the guys in the locker room don't think that that's indicative of what they could do in a rematch in the playoffs or what they could do against Philly or what they could do against the Rams? It doesn't. And I don't think these guys are sitting there going, yeah, we're good, but, man, we really haven't beaten anybody. They're not thinking about that at all.
I can assure you they haven't. They're thinking, God, we let one slip away by playing like crap in the first half against Detroit. That's what they're thinking.
Yep.
And just like when we lost to Atlanta, it's let's get another crack at it. And that can be a lot more powerful than having 2 regular season wins. This isn't the Nebraska-Wisconsin volleyball where it's just you got their number. Detroit has beaten us, no question, but I just hope we get a third crack at them. And I would bet if Detroit had its druthers, they would say, I'll be all right playing the Falcons or the Rams. Right. That's how I think. So
I think you're right. Just like you think that Quick Trip is the perfect stop for you on your way home or wherever you're headed for the holidays after your visit to Green Bay.
Well, Jason, let's talk a little bit about Quick Trip. We love it. And you know life is busy. This time of year, are you kidding me? Holidays. And whether you're craving that fresh coffee, which I am, or a tasty bakery treat, which I am, or a quick grab-and-go meal that we'll probably grab
maybe some
on
tea.
the way back to Madison today, Quick Trip is going to be our go-to. Variety and quality, fast service. Quick Trip's team is all about making your day easier and better. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries and everything in between, Quick Trip's got you covered. Don't stress out while you make your trips this holiday season to go see family. Quick Trip's got the fuel. We got to get loaded up on that to get back home. Plus ATMs and free air on your tires. They aren't the only perks that they got. Nature's chocolate milk, just a half gallon for $2.49. Boneless pork chops, 99 cents each. And you get that summer sausage, 2 for $7.50. Chicken. Was today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday, right?
No, today's Tuesday.
Oh, so it's not chicken day today. We had it yesterday. We'll have it on Wednesday again, $9.99, bone in, or those great, juicy, succulent tenders. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of all that Quick Trip has to offer. Order ahead, pick up, curbside delivery, whatever your heart desires. Quick Trip. We're going to see you next time, boys.
If you're on hold, stay there. We will get to your calls. I'd love to go through the entire show with all calls. 844-770-3776. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. College football playoff round 1 in the books. The 12-team format, a new change compared to when Barry Alvarez sat on the original selection committee. Coach pulling back the curtain on that process.
Anyone can speak their mind, say what you think. If you lobbied, you were basically shut out. I thought it was very professional. I thought the people were prepared. But I thought it was really managed well. Everybody voiced their opinion, and then consensus led us to decisions.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Professional volleyball is coming to Madison this January. Featuring Olympic medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drew Schumacher, Love Madison Volleyball is Madison's newest pro team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 17th at the Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Madison matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com. For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Dr. Schwab is a board-certified general surgeon who can help with many simple and outpatient procedures to alleviate varicose and spider veins. Visit StoughtonHealth.com to learn more. StoughtonHealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Step into Christmas Eve on Wilde and Tausch. Your positives, your negatives. And is this proof of concept that the Packers are a Super Bowl contender or not? Let's get to one more call, then we'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour. Late, as usual. Let's go to John in Massachusetts. John, I'm sorry Jesse's not there to give you his Boston accent. How you doing today?
Hi, guys. Doing awesome. How you doing?
We're great. What do you got?
Awesome.
So my positive, especially for this game, but it's kind of showing itself as the season goes on, is the depth that this team has and how much they believe in each other. And I think case in point is some of the contributions that we've seen over the last few weeks. Brenton Cox kind of coming alive with his pass rush. Zane Anderson stepping in for Evan Williams, getting an interception, playing 2 really good games in a row. The team pulls Josh Jacobs when he gets a little bit banged up. Doesn't matter. The running game just keeps rolling with Manny Wilson and Chris Brooks. I think depth is super important, especially as we get into December and January. And I think they really proved that they have it this year, especially. My negative, and I think this is really pick and miss. It's kind of hard to find negatives, in my opinion, when you win 34-0. But I'm kind of tired of watching the fake go for it on 4th down, only to take a delay of game and punt. And I know Love drew them offsides a couple of times yesterday, but that was 2nd and 6, 3rd and 6, whatever it was, when it was pretty conceivable that they're going to run a play there. I'd like to see them just go for it or punt. Right? Let's stop with the charade. It's just wasting everybody's time at this point.
Fiddling and diddling, as Homer calls it.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little annoying as a fan to sit on the couch and watch every single week. They line up. Everybody in the building knows they're not going to run a play. So let's either run one or just kick it away and move on.
John, quick question. If it works once out of 10, you're going to punt anyways. If it does work, what's the harm? Other than boring us.
I guess so.
That is the harm, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, Tausch, your complaint was that the game wasn't entertaining enough.
I know, but I'm looking at it from LaFleur's perspective. He got those guys to jump to close out a game. You just don't know how dumb opposing teams are. Test their stupidity. I'm all right with it. Test their stupidity. TTS.
It's a pretty good line.
TTS it.
I like it, yes.
Thanks.
John, what else you got?
Fair enough. No, my last point was, do we have proof that the Packers are a Super Bowl contender? with this game. And I think that they are a Super Bowl contender. And this is kind of, in the spirit of Festivus, I have a bit of a grievance to air. And I feel like there is this movement around the NFL to constantly throw flowers at the Minnesota Vikings. And they've won 13 games. There's no denying that. But to throw flowers at the Vikings and then on the same side of that coin to say that the Packers haven't beaten any worthy teams, I don't think is fair. They're in the same division. They've played the exact same schedule aside from the Vikings played the Giants instead of Green Bay playing Philadelphia, and the Vikings played the New York Jets instead of the Packers playing the Miami Dolphins. So if the Packers don't have a signature win, I'm struggling to find where Minnesota's is. You could say it was Green Bay. Green Bay went into that game without Jair Alexander, without Carrington Valentine. Love couldn't move. We could argue that he came back one game too early. And that was the game that Watson got bent in half in the second quarter and left the game as well. So I think the Vikings deserve their respect. Like Balaga was saying the other day, you don't luck yourself into 13 wins. But if that team is being the Super Bowl contender, I don't think it's fair to say that the Packers haven't beaten anybody. And that's all I got.
Great call, John. I don't know what shows you've been listening to because the only thing that's been thrown at the Vikings on this show is shade, not bouquets and flowers.
I've given some, but I've also said, here's the deal. This is how I look at it. You know, I've said I respect the fact I've said I was wrong. No, I said I was wrong. I still don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl. I like Green Bay as a Super Bowl contender more than Minnesota. And if things go south on Sunday, everybody's going to say, oh, OT, no. Fair. I'm willing to put myself out there on that. But it's still going to come down to who wins in January. The bottom line on this is the national perspective looks at it as Detroit and Philly. And then I think you got Green Bay, Minnesota, and maybe the Rams, and then everybody else. And on the other side, it is Baltimore, in my opinion. Baltimore, you had Kansas City, tier 1, and then Baltimore and Buffalo are kind of in the same boat as Green Bay. You got to go and find a way to beat a team. That's where I think Philly and Detroit have separated themselves, even though I don't think that margin is that big.
More of your calls coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Georgianne in Florida, you're going to be up to start the 10 o'clock hour. Want to remind you see the signage all around Lambeau Field if you're there, because Associated Bank is the bank of the Packers. In fact, the Packers started in a boardroom at Associated Bank with local businessmen making that team happen, and they've been with the Packers ever since. You can be with Associated Bank and show your Packers colors with Packers checking from Associated Bank. So go to associatedbank.com/Packers to find out more. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrow. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Merry Christmas Eve, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Starting in Green Bay, as the Packers were big winners last night on Monday Night Football as they absolutely shellacked the New Orleans Saints by a score of 34-0. Josh Jacobs ran for 69 yards and a touchdown, while Jaden Reed contributed 76 on the receiving end, while Zane Anderson snagged his first career interception in his first career start as the defense pitched the first shutout in the NFL this season. Speaking of Zane Anderson, he was starting in place of the injured Evan Williams, who head coach Matt LaFleur gave an update on in his post-game presser.
There's concern. I would think that he's going to be out a period of time, but nothing like long-term. It's just one of those deals, and it's unfortunate. I think it happened on the first play in practice. He just pulled up, and I know he's bummed, but he'll persevere, and we'll hopefully get him back, hopefully in time for the playoffs.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch begins now. Let's keep rolling with the calls. 844-770-3776. As promised, let's go down to Georgianne in Florida. Georgianne, good morning. Thanks for holding on. What do you got for us?
No. Good morning. So my positives, it would have to start with Brooks getting his first career touchdown. He has been such a good he's been such a good third string running back, and the fact that all three backs got a touchdown, perfect. I love seeing Musgrave out there, even though it was for very limited time, just getting a few hits, getting back out there for the playoffs. I want to see more of him out there. And Bo Melton showing his speed on the limited plays that he was out there. People forget how fast he could be.
Mm-hmm. All good ones.
Now, for my negative, there's very few big negatives, most of which have already been discussed, the potential injuries to Williams, Jacobs, Watson. My thing during the game was the offensive line needs not to react when the defense is jumping so we can have those free plays. 5 yards is great, but if we could get that free play, then Jordan could throw the ball downfield and, worst case, try to get a pass interference. And Tausch, since you were there, and I could be wrong just because of the telecast, but did I hear the crowd chanting "Go Pack Go" with the offense on the field? Isn't that a major?
You also heard the Bears still suck being chanted while they had the ball.
Yeah, and there was a wave, I believe, that happened during the offense again.
Yeah, that they didn't show that part on TV, but I thought I heard the crowd chanting "Go Pack Go" when the offense, and I was like, why? As for proof of concept,
they were bored,
it proves
excited.
that they can.
Yeah, they were bored.
We'll get another beer then.
That's true. There you go.
Beer and a brat. Outside of that, it proves that they can put a game plan together for all four quarters, but I need to see it more consistently over the next 2 weeks and into the first week of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys. Have a great
call,
Christmas.
Georgianne. Merry
Merry
Christmas to you.
Happy New Have a great holiday. Yeah, so Jason, here's a couple things, and I was going to bring that up. I don't know if LaFleur talked about this in the post game. We always gave Rodgers a lot of grief about the wave and the crowd noise and being loud. Our fans are fantastic. They showed up in droves. It was cold. It wasn't that cold last night, but it was cold, and it was a boring game. So, do we want our fans to do the wave and to be loud when we're on offense? We don't. We've had this discussion over a decade, and I think Matt LaFleur, you thought that everybody was kind of on board. So if you want to make that that is a negative from last night's game. I missed it. That would be the one that I think I would put, but I am not worried about that. A, we're not going to have a home game, more than likely in the playoffs. But B, this was one of those games. I mean, you needed to entertain yourselves because there was some downtime and there was some lulls that made it kind of a juiceless operation. And you want to have fun when you're at the game. It's just, again, do it when the Packers defense is on the field. That would be my only recommendation. But again, I'm not going to tell you how to fan. I'm just going to tell you, if you want to help your team win and you want to make your coaches and your players that you're rooting for, in the best case is to be quiet on offense and to be raucous and as loud and rambunctious as you want when their offense is on the field.
All right, so let me ask you a question about that, though, because you're not going to tell people how to fan. But Bill Jarts does.
Well, I kind of just did.
You did.
Yes, he's very.
But he scolds the crowd, and look.
Yeah.
Go Pack, go. No. Bears still suck. No, not one on offense. The wave. No. But there's also this kind of it's almost like there's a big play that happens, and it's almost like they want a time limit on how long you can cheer. It's okay to get excited. Let's not go overboard with the scolding of, hey, quiet now, please be quiet. It's a little bit, it's a little bit too much. Am I wrong to feel that way? Again, he's not talking to me. I'm not cheering in the press box. But is it a little bit too much, did you think?
You're teetering on that line. I think
I've never heard that before in another stadium. Ever.
Well, I don't know about that. I know Jartsy he's a very strong-voiced guy. I've been at these events where he's auctioneering. He's stern.
Yeah, he's great.
When he wants to prove a point, he's going to be stern. And I don't know if you need to tell people to shut up, and I don't think that's what he did.
Pretty close.
Fans are going to – you want to – educate your fans and have them do what is in the best for the football team, but fans are going to fan and they're going to boo. I don't think Packer players have any problem if they stink and they get booed off the field or get jeered because they haven't had a first down in 2 quarters. That's part of the deal. But I do think we give Bears fans a lot of grief about, the Packers always being at top of mind. Bears still suck. The Bears have sucked for a while. That's not anything new to us. That's where they're at. So I don't get that upset about that stuff. I think the only thing for me was when it was a first, second, and really down at the goal line, everybody's jacked up.
Sure.
We want it to be quiet so we can get off on the ball, and that's all I care about. All of that other stuff I could give 2 rips about as a player. Certainly now as a fan, hey man, do you? But as a player, I just know it helps you if you can keep it down and let us kind of talk and communicate. When we know we can't do it on the road, we want to be able to do it at home.
We'll get to more of your calls coming up. Tausch, we spent some time together at the Tundra Trio, which will also look like a storage area for all the cool stuff we've got from Tito's Vodka.
Indeed. Tito's handmade vodka on game day. Pour us all in, Coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch. Root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack a spicy bloody. Warm up with the salt the rim of a Tito Rita during halftime. Or you take home the win with a Tito's and whatever your heart desires. You're calling the game. You change up your roster. Just make sure you wash that lucky jersey and make Tito's your first round bottle pick. Whose house? It's Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at titosvodka.com. It is crafted to be savored responsibly.
If you're on hold, stay there. We'll get to more of your calls next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you and your loved ones a happy holiday season from Grassland Dairy. As you gather with friends and family to celebrate the season, remember that no holiday spread is complete without the pure and delicious taste of Grassland butter on your table. For toast, pancakes, dinner rolls, and everything in between, Grassland butter is the gift that keeps on giving. Grassland Dairy again extends a huge thank you to all of the hardworking dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin. Without them producing such high-quality ingredients, Grassland would not be able to deliver that pure and delicious flavor on your table that we've all come to know and love. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Since 1904, there's been no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Happy holidays from Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
For a truck that gets the job done, drive a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado EV work truck from Zimbrick Chevrolet. 393-mile range, over 12,000-pound towing capacity, 510 horsepower. Save $12,500 with 0% APR for 60 months to well-qualified buyers through GM Financial. Monthly payments equal $1,667 per $1,000 financed. Offer ends January 2nd. Zimbrick Chevrolet, East Madison, Sun Prairie, and ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde And Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Time for parties and celebrations. People dancing.
Let's keep going with the calls. 844-770-3776. I'm also going to get a poll in the field. at old boy's behest. Simple. Yes or no? No hedge. No baby.
How do you think that's going to go?
Are the Packers Super Bowl contenders? I think it's going to be. You're the one who's
more
good
people are
at-
going to say yes for sure.
You're so much better at projecting this than I am. What do you think it's going to be? 70-30?
I think you need to preface it with the road that they're going to have to go to do it.
Okay.
No, I think it will be. I think it's going to be more 60-40-ish because I do think there's a lot of folks that are looking at it saying they haven't beaten anybody. We don't really know proof of concept. We don't really know. I think there is a lot of Packer fans that
Wait a minute, was
kind
that
of have
me?
that vibe a little bit too. A little bit, yeah. You're a POC guy.
It's not even my phrase.
POC
Gabe's
guy.
phrase. It's a great phrase. I love it, though. I'm definitely on board with it. All right.
You have promoted it.
I've co-opted it, if you will. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
A thief.
Thief, yeah, thief is fine. I'll take that too. I did credit him in the tweet, but be that as it may, and on the air. Let's get some more calls. 844-770-3776. Let's go up to the potato corridor, unless I don't know where the potato corridor is. Tausch's old stomping grounds. Put it that way. I'm sure a reader of what's the Marshfield paper that your pops wrote for?
News Herald.
The News
old
Herald.
News Herald.
It is Clay in Marshfield. Clay, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. Merry Christmas to you. Tausch, you're still loved around here, especially in Aubie. Hope you guys are well. My first thing that I just want to get the negative out of the way. Sorry.
Clay Aubie, it would be Auburndale. Is that what the cool kids call it? Aubie?
Yeah.
Okay,
listen,
good to know.
Hey,
I've never heard that.
In Wood County, we know what Aubie is, Jason. You
I'm
and
a
your
Milwaukee
highfalutin
guy.
Brown
Grew up in
County.
Milwaukee.
You probably don't know it. Well, you're more of a Brown County guy. So
At this juncture, sure. All right, I'm sorry, Clay, please. The floor is yours.
So just starting off, I think I got to get my negative out of the way, and I just want to expand on something that's already been talked about, and that's Christian Watson's health. Him being at all banged up kind of raises some concerns for me when it comes to playoff time. I know the normal producer of this show is not a huge Christian Watson fan, but I am.
No, he's not.
He is just such a dynamic player, and that he changes the entire way that the opponent's defense plans for Green Bay and creates opportunities for some of these other wide receivers. That's just, it's heartbreaking to me. He works so hard. He's such a good leader, and I really hope that he's able to get back on the field and keep making plays for us. And then my positive, Kraft. He's a Leatherman. Whatever you need, he's got it. He's got all the tools. His sneaks that LaFleur is scheming up for him, I love so much. They feel
3 for
automatic,
3.
and it's just one less hit that Jordan has to take. And then when you get him in space, I mean, who's better? He's just absolutely elite. He feels like a bowling ball going down the field. I expect him to score every time he's got five yards in front of him. So he's been my big positive, and I think him and Jacobs have just brought such a physical mindset to this football team. And then last but not least, this game was not proof of concept, but everything that has led up to this moment is this team's tough. They out-physical almost every team they play other than Detroit, but Detroit is an absolute shell of themselves. I mean, that defense isn't even recognizable at this point. So I'm not too concerned of them, to see them again come playoff time. I think we're definitely going to be able to get that third bite at the apple, and I think we're going to come on top of that. But they've already overcome consistently adversity, injuries, everything. They're deep. They've got the right mindset. And I truly do believe they're going to win a Super Bowl this year.
There you go. Awesome call, Clay. Merry Christmas to you, and tell all of our friends in Aubie that we say hello. That great call
Merry
for
Christmas.
Clay, Tausch. I guess my question is, and he mentioned a bunch of the talking points that we've heard already. The physicality, I think, is a huge one. I mean, and it is. It's the offensive line. It's Tucker Kraft. It's Josh Jacobs. But it's also, it's almost as if Josh Jacobs' physicality is contagious. Is that possible? Like, both the backs that took over for him ran with a physicality that you might not expect from them. They delivered it too.
Tone setting.
How much does that? That's
setting.
exactly where I'm going.
Yes, I know. Tone setting, and you see what others are doing and what is expected of you. You're not going to run out of bounds. You're going to number one for New Orleans. I don't know his name off the top of my head. He was trying to tackle, and I think it was either Emmanuel or it was my boy Brooksy, and he just got trucked. And that's when you see it's like, all right, Josh Jacobs didn't going down on the first hit. That you see that in the room. You see that on the defensive backfield where, with Charles Woodson, what he did to set the tone. Josh Jacobs has been that. He's obviously, you can see what I love was that just the grin and the smile on his face when you're talking about meaningful football. He was there languishing in Oakland / Las Vegas, and he's worked and he's been the guy, and now he's getting his bite at the apple and he's excited about it. It's contagious, and it sets a tone for who you're going to be as a football team. And if you're not that, you ain't going to play. So you do bring that. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's skill set is the same, but you bring what you got. And I think those other backs are seeing it. The line feels that. The quarterback feels it. And I think most importantly, the coach feels it. Because we have criticized plenty of times, both Mike and Matt LaFleur, why don't we run the ball more? Why don't we do it? Well, you do it if it's successful. Coaches want to win. If it works, they're going to keep doing it. And Josh Jacobs is setting that tone, and that line is taking that on, and now you embrace the fact people view you as, well, that's a physical operation. And that's what Green Bay's been.
Alontae Taylor is the number one in your program for the New Orleans
I couldn't tell
Saints.
because he was on his back.
You couldn't see his nameplate. Yes, exactly. Let me ask you one other question before we get to Eric in Green Bay, and the question is this. We've heard a few calls now referencing their depth. The running back depth was on display last night. Their secondary depth, I mean, again, challenged? Probably not, but Carrington Valentine, he was the G of the week last week. Now you got Zane Anderson stepping in at his first NFL start. He's now played well for them in the 2 games he's had to fill in for Evan Williams. They didn't have Jair. They didn't have Javon Bullard. And on the defensive line, as someone pointed out earlier, Brenton Cox, 26 defensive snaps. Lucas Van Ness, 18. That tells you there's something going on there as well with Brenton Cox and the depth that he provides. What do you think, as the Goody Stan on the panel, of their depth? Is it as good as we think it is?
I mean, I think we get caught up in this a little bit, being around these guys. So I've seen this story before, and they're great stories. And this is the one part where I would say, let's slow our roll a little bit. I love what you're seeing, but I want to see this pass rush and Brenton Cox and Van Ness and whomever else is going to be out there when you're playing the big boy O-lines. That, to me, is still the biggest question mark. I don't have any doubt our receivers are going to get open. We're going to run the football on everybody we play. I don't have any doubt about that. My doubt is, can we disrupt Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff? We'll find out even a little bit this week with Sam Darnold. That still, to me, is the biggest question mark on this team, because you can beat bad offensive lines with being just good. The really good scheme and groups find ways to protect and run the football and do the things you need to win. That's what Philly, and quite frankly, that's why Detroit has had the success they've had, is because they've won the battle up front against our front. And we've been sitting here on these post games saying, oh, why can't we get any pressure with 4?
Right.
What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And that question is still very much in doubt, even though we're excited that some of these young guys are getting these opportunities and gaining confidence. But we need to see that show up Sunday afternoon up in Minneapolis. We need to see that show up when you're playing the Detroit Lions or the Philadelphia Eagles in a playoff game.
Eric in Green Bay, Clinton and Hales Corners, Josh and Kenosha, you guys are on deck. We'll get to you coming up. Tausch, I know you and Riley were discussing this in the break. How'd Prize Picks go for you?
Good night. Jesse helped me a bunch with that. I think we hit on everything. We went less with Jordan Love. We went less with Josh Jacobs, kind of understanding game flow. Those opinions, sports opinions, turn it into real cash with Prize Picks. The best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in award winnings. And it is made, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. And it is simple. We did it last night. Good night for old T. I talked to Jesse in the post game. Good night for Jesse. The only one we missed on, I think, was the field goal kick. 47.5.
Yeah.
Old boy's got a buried at 55 piece. We got a fun one. It's Merry Pixmas time. Joker, 0.5 points. That's about a free as square as you're going to get on Christmas Day. And you got the other games with the Chiefs playing, the Steelers. I got a couple of things I'm looking at. I'm going to have fun on Christmas with Prize Picks. And when your picks hit, you get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. And now it was 100 times your money. Then we said, let's go 200. It's Christmas. All the way up to potentially 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 5 correct picks. Download that app today. Use code WI. Riley, this is for you, baby. $50 instantly after you play that first $5. So you can do a $5 lineup, pick 4 or 5, go big, try to hit a home run. Even if you don't win, $50 instantly in your account. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game.
Yes.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Wilde And Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrowed. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good.
Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane.
I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Which program is more dysfunctional, the Wisconsin Badgers or the Chicago Bears? I'm just relating it back to this weekend. I'm just relating it back.
I'm a fan of both.
Jim's two favorite teams. It's Jim's fault. Like, these teams are the reason they are the way they are because of Jim.
Jim is a football curse. Yeah, maybe.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, UW-Madison alum. Listen to me every day from 5 to 9 and join my fellow Badgers, Brad Nortman and Ben Bruss, with Kyle Wallace every day from 2 to 4 on 100.5 ESPN.
Everybody's starting to feel it in the air. All of the sidewalks, all of the
Before we get to a couple more calls, I did not see this during the telecast. Did the ESPN cameras catch Matt LaFleur saying, "Why is everyone doing the blanking wave"? Is that
seems like it?
Is that? I'm not a lip reader.
Did.
Yeah, I was watching the game. They did. They did in fact catch that. It was pretty funny.
He like raises his arms and everything. What are these people doing? Oh, Matt. Gotta love it. Where's Jartsy when you need him?
What did Aikman have to say about that, youngster?
I can't remember, to be honest. I don't know if he commented on it or not.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and watch the Twitter clip. So some great analysis
Packer
there for you.
fans love
Thanks
Troy
for chiming
Aikman
in.
now. I got the sense. I got the sense last night. No, I just feel like people are like it's just. I think for as much as Joe Buck and Troy Aikman took grief when they were at Fox, and it seemed like we were, they did our games every week. I think this is an absence makes the heart grow fonder situation.
Oh.
It feels as if people are like, it's got that big game vibe, even though last night wasn't a big game. It'll be the only time these two do a Packer game this season, more than likely. And I just sense that people are longing, like, you know what, man, maybe we didn't give these guys the love because they're really good. They're really good.
Okay, so counterpoint
and I've always
to
been a
this,
Joe Buck fan.
I am also a big Joe Buck and Troy Aikman fan, and I agree. I'm a big fan of the Monday Night Football broadcast package.
Well,
but
it's not really a counterpoint, then.
No. I'm saying I'm a big fan.
I think he's building to it.
But I was sitting with some friends yesterday, and they were telling me how much they still hate Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. And their reasoning is just, they hate the Packers. They just hate the Packers. I don't like listening to these guys.
Didn't hate them last night. Am I right?
Yeah.
Didn't hate them last night.
I think a lot of people just still have that
I think
holdover.
there's a nostalgia for them. I think there's nostalgia. It's
All right,
these guys are pretty good because Jason, Jesse would always say it's it's a big game. I can remember Brent Musburger when he would get on. It's like, big game, college football, right? And now when big game Burkhart gets on, you're kind of, I don't know. Do you get that same vibe?
It's not exactly Summerall and
not
John
yet.
Madden.
But Aikman and Buck, there's such a history of doing so many Packer games and big Packer games that I think Packer fans are starting to come around on it. I think they missed not having Buck and Aikman.
We'll poll that a little bit later. Let the current poll breathe, which is, do you believe the Green Bay Packers? No, I don't.
A little skepticism with me.
No, I just don't know. I don't talk to enough people about what they think of Buck and Aikman to know. I do know this. Outperforming in the poll as of right now, do you believe the Green Bay Packers are Super Bowl contenders? 7 minutes into the poll, 85.4% yes. 14.6% no.
That is
take that for what it's worth.
Surprising because you just, and again, I don't know which precincts are coming in, But that is interesting because it seems like a majority of the people that called the post game and have just been interacting on Twitter
Skeptics.
And some of the other spots, there's more of, we haven't proven it, your proof of concept deal. I thought that there'd be more skeptics, and maybe 70%. There's about a 15% swing here that I'm a little surprised by, but it's early in the results too.
Let's get to more of your calls. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Let's go to Eric in Green Bay. Eric, thanks for holding for so long. What do you got, buddy?
Morning, boys. Happy Victory Tuesday and happy holidays.
You too.
You too.
All right, so some quick positives. Just overall, clean game. The biggest things are just kind of the number 0, right? 0 turnovers, 0 sacks taken, 0 missed kicks. Put that together with, again, playing a JV squad, just easy, clean game. Second positive, and then I'm kind of curious as to what your thoughts are. It's always been a pleasure to see Malik Willis play this year, and even coming in, fourth quarter, a game that you guys have really touched base on, where there just wasn't a lot of energy, wasn't a lot of juice at the end. Came in, delivered a solid touchdown drive, really threw a dime to Reed on that pass near the end. Again, he's just been awesome to watch, whether it's been taking over as a spot starter or coming in relief. Curious as to what happens to him in the off season, if there's going to be at any point, if there's a strong enough offer, if he's only around for 1 year, do you entertain that, or what kind of happens to him in the future? What's going on there?
Yeah, great question, Eric. I thought about this after, because we always are thinking ahead. Like, I think we live in the moment, but also part of the thing I love about this job is you project and you start not guessing, but you start thinking and reading tea leaves. And they love Malik Willis. He's under contract for really a small amount of money. And we have found out backup quarterback play is critical. I think we've, in Green Bay, gotten a little bit jaded in the fact it doesn't matter. The season's over if things go south, if it's Favre or if it's Rodgers. And Goody has looked at it from a different perspective. And I thought at the time, what are we doing? Like, Malik Willis stunk in Tennessee. He isn't good enough to beat out the guys that they have there now.
Right.
And they stink. Like, Will Levis stinks. He's just been bad. And this is the guy that you're going to bring in after you drafted and it just didn't work. And he's been fantastic. And when you have that, I think the coaches are excited about him. He is going to build. I don't think whatever you would get in a trade, maybe it'd be a third or fourth round pick at the most, isn't worth giving up 3 wins. 3 wins in this league is worth a bucket load of money and a bucket load of picks. And the thing is, they know, and I guarantee you, they feel like he is only going to get better. And then the question is, what do you do the following year? Do you try and, transition tag? If you really prove that he is this guy, teams are going to take notice. There are going to be people interested, but I don't think the value of what he's brought to the team this season will be marked by anything the Packers would get offered this offseason. So I think he'll be here for sure one more season, and then he'll have that decision to make where a lot of quarterbacks look at it and say, I can have a really nice career as a backup and as somebody that is going to be steady Eddie for 3 more years. Or do you go take another big bite at the apple and try to prove it, which is my guess is what most competitors want to do. But there comes a point where he's been through this, and he is probably loves what's going on in Green Bay. I think it's going to be a fascinating process, but I don't think this will be the offseason. I think it will be after his contract comes up and then what Green Bay decides to do with him.
Malik Willis is under contract for next year. He is costing the Packers $1.17 million this year. He is going to cost them $1.41 million next year. That's not just popcorn money. That is, about $300,000 a win that he has generated? You'll pay that without question. I would think that he will be their backup next year, and as Tausch said, that he will face a decision. I don't know is he convincing other teams with what they're seeing.
I think not to the point where somebody would go crazy to give a first-round pick. Is what I think a second-round pick would make Green Bay think long and hard. I think a third-round pick, you probably already you maybe entertain it. Anything else, you're not even blinking. I don't think they're there yet, but I don't think they even have any. This is one of the great surprise redemption stories.
Such a great story
I've seen in the NFL because he was dead.
Yeah,
he was a third stringer for potentially one of the worst quarterback teams in the league.
Two guys that have been terrible this year since they traded him away.
Third, and they drafted him. He was third on their depth, and they got him for what, a conditional 7th?
Correct.
Like, you could not draw this up. This is not an easy thing. This is a great testament, obviously, to my guy Goody, but also to Matt LaFleur and finding ways to make him this productive. But I also don't want to take anything away from him. I think a lot of times we give these quarterback gurus all this. Give Malik Willis all the flowers in the world because it's him out there doing it. He stuck with it. He believed in himself. He believed in this, and he worked and competed, and he's proven it. And even though it was only one drive last night that I didn't see because I was doing the post-game show, it is uber impressive
he was great.
What he's been able. Well, I saw the other games where he started, and he was fantastic. He did everything you wanted a backup quarterback. You had everything you wanted a starter to do. It's just been a magnificent story, and I don't think it will be lost. If this team finds a way to get it done, Malik Willis is a huge part of this story to get there.
Yeah, he had the best throw of the night. There's no doubt about that. Let's get to one more call here, and then Josh and Sparky and Mike coming up on the other side. Let's get to Clinton in Hales Corners, who's been holding on forever. Clinton, thanks for holding on, buddy. What do you got for us?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Merry Christmas. How are you guys doing?
Merry Christmas to you. Thanks again for waiting. What do you got?
All right. So my positive Peggy, negative Nancy, I'm bringing it back for this week. My one negative Nancy is I think it's our loss in our line, and not having back Jair Alexander, not having back some of these guys that were predicted to be back. And there's a little bit of fear there kind of running now, and as we're thinking, okay, well, maybe some of these guys won't be back until we're ready for postseason. And you would hope that they would come back within at least the last week of the season just to get those practice reps in, whatever they need. And especially playing, the Bears, I would imagine that is the great time to really kind of put some pedal, get the fire under them. But I have more to be a positive Peggy about than anything else, to really, really go into Christmas in a great spirit. The Packers being the first team all season to go 34-0 to skunk out a team. I mean, you still have teams worse than the Saints. I mean, Cleveland is a great example, and Cleveland still managed to put up points. Now, granted, that's what makes them Super Bowl contenders. That's what makes this team different, is that they actually took the opportunity. They were able to zero out a team. And the first time this season, and it takes all the way until week 14 or week 13 for this to happen, week 16? I mean, we're in a really good position right now moving forward. I can't, help to think that we were finally firing on all cylinders. And the last time I called, I said the elephant in the room, Keyshawn Nixon being bad. He stepped up heavily last night. It was great to finally see Keyshawn Nixon making the plays he needed to make. It was so good to just see finally when I said loose wires, those are coming together. Yeah, Jordan Love may not have played his fullest, and I'll agree with that from the first caller at the beginning of this. But long run, once you get him to connect, now you're cooking with some gas here in a way that we haven't been cooking all season. So I'm going to look at everything with a positive perspective, and the outlook is when you skunk a team, and that is the first time it's happened, that says something, and it didn't mean it was necessarily a boring game. And sure, maybe it may have been boring if you were there and you were expecting this, but realistically, I mean, how many times have we played teams that are already in the loss column? Is their loss column's higher than their win column, and there hasn't been that shutout in such a way. So perspective to me says we're in a really good place right now. We're in a place where if we can just continue to put, pedal to the metal, cook with some fire, cook with some gas, and get this team in this consistency and the habitual win of winning, you can go into postseason with a pretty wide open window here. And I think there isn't this limit that maybe once people thought there was.
Yeah, we appreciate the call, Clinton. Again, it's great that they pitched the first shutout of the season, Tausch. But if they had given up a late touchdown, would we have looked at this game differently? The 0 is a really good-looking number on the scoreboard, no doubt about it. But does that change how we view it?
No, it doesn't. But it is something. It's another thing to put in the resume. And we've talked a lot this season about 4 quarters and not always staying on point throughout it. Now, they made a play. It was one of the best plays of the night was Rattler when he does that jump throw, and then the next play he throws the pick. It was a great play. That was, again, the defense bowing up, and you do want to see everything through. Does it change the narrative at all if it was 34-7? No. But there is something to be said about the confidence of we have our backups, we have some other guys playing, and they're out there doing it too. That's how you continue to build culture, is by setting those standards and having everybody have to live up to them. That is the only thing I would say. But no, to answer your question, am I doing anything differently post-game, or any fan looking at this saying, oh, they gave up that late touchdown, oh, Joe Barry would have done I don't think that narrative is in play at all. I thought that it was just a dominant performance really from start to finish.
We'll get some more of your calls coming up. Want to remind you again, I don't use the friend loosely. If you're not my friend, I don't call you my friend. David's been a great friend to me, David Gruber. When I have a legal question, he's there for me. I hope I never have to have him represent me because I've been seriously injured in some sort of accident. But if that were to happen, heaven forbid, that's the call I'm making. That's the call you should make as well. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruberloff says one call. That's all. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Rah! Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show, talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. College football playoff round 1 in the books. The 12-team format, a new change compared to when Barry Alvarez sat on the original selection committee. Coach pulling back the curtain on that process.
If you lobbied, you were basically shut out. I thought it was very professional. I thought the people were prepared, but I thought it was really managed well. Everybody voiced their opinion, and then consensus led us to decisions.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, will feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Indulge in the ultimate chocolate experience this holiday season with Gail Ambrosius Chocolatier. Your significant other will love the handcrafted selection created right here in Madison. Stop by their store on Atwood and treat your taste buds today. Once you taste the difference that locally owned and made chocolate provides, you'll never go back to the mass-produced box of chocolate again. Share the joy with a box of chocolate from Gail Ambrosius Chocolatier on Atwood.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison always does New Year's Eve big, so join the celebration and make it a night to remember. On Tuesday, December 31st, we have New Year's Eve hot ticket drawings, both day and night, with a $5,000 grand prize at 4 p.m. and another $5,000 grand prize just after midnight. Plus, you'll enjoy rewards play, a live DJ, a wide selection of food and drink specials, and of course, our 95% average payout. Come for the drawings, stay for the party at
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Wilde And Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
All right, we got a few more calls I want to get to because I appreciate when people devote their time to staying on hold. So we're going to talk to Josh next here, and then Sparky and Mike, you'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour. We'll play some trivia. That's coming up as well, plus some Will Riley before we say Merry Christmas Eve, and we'll talk to you on Friday. Let's get to, as promised, Josh in Kenosha. Josh, thanks for holding on so long, buddy. Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you guys as well. And holding for 45 minutes is a small price to pay to talk to you guys.
You're very kind.
I try. So a couple quick negatives. One person touched on it with the O-line jumping for the free plays. It'd be nice if you had the discipline to get the free play, but, that's kind of nitpicky for me. Injury-wise, going forward, that might be the biggest negative. Now, you can't really control injuries, but that's a big concern. And with that, the Jair situation seems a little weird. Something is not right with me about it, and I can't put my finger on what it is. But last night would have been the perfect game to get him back, even for 10 or 12 snaps, to get some live game reps to prepare for possibly playing Minnesota and this playoff push. I don't know what's going on with him. I hope he's not holding out, trying to hold on to whatever value he might have if he's seeking a trade or going somewhere else. I hope that's not the case.
So, Josh, let me interrupt you to ask Tausch what he thinks, and then you can get to your positives. Tausch, you jumped in right away when Josh said that and said, and there's something fishy about the way LaFleur answers questions. I just don't know what to think.
It feels very David Bakhtiari-like to me. Like, that's what it feels like. There's not the open lines of communication. The fact that he practiced all 3 days and then is inactive, I don't know where this is at. I don't know if this is – I'm certain Matt LaFleur is looking at it and saying, until I see him practicing the way we feel like he needs to, we are not going to play him. And it comes back to the trust thing of a couple of weeks ago when they put him out there and he only could go 5 or 6 snaps. And you kind of hamstring the rest of your lineup. There just seems there's something there. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to speculate on it. It's not how business is done in the NFL. That's not how this looks typically. And I don't know why it is the way it is. It just, there is something there. And I don't know how much you can count on Jair being available. If he didn't play last night after practicing 3 days, maybe there was another setback. I don't know. I'm not there. But it's just something isn't right in how that is being communicated in the relationship there. I don't know what it is, but I couldn't agree more.
He did not say anything about a setback of any kind. He just wasn't ready, was what we got from Matt LaFleur. All right, Josh, what are your negatives, or your positives? I'm sorry.
Positives are good job doing what you had to do. You dominated a Southern bad dome team at home in December, right? It's what's to be expected. So, again, not a perfect game by any stretch, but a really, really good game on all fronts. I would say my biggest positive is you guys. How about if I don't want to jump the gun here, but your Steinhafel sleeper picks were pretty spot on.
Not all of them.
Pretty good day.
Well, Malik Willis came in, had an impact. Zane Anderson with the interception.
Musgrave did play like 9
active.
snaps. That's true. Yeah, he was out there.
Yeah, he was out there.
So you guys got him all right. And Craig Brooks, I think that was Tausch's pick. Didn't he have a touchdown?
All the running backs had a touchdown.
They had a big night.
Yeah, it was a really good night for all of them.
He was dominant.
So, even Jesse got in there with Zane Anderson.
Nice.
So,
nice. Good singer.
That was a good
well
pick.
done.
Like I said, you guys were all, spot on. So give yourselves a round of applause for that.
Josh, we appreciate you,
we
man.
have
Merry
no problem
Christmas.
doing that. I can assure you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, bud.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Jason, what is going on? Let's get to this. I know we have some calls left, but I am interested in your take because you were wrong about Jair a couple weeks ago, and now it's basically we don't have a clue. I'm fascinated by this dynamic. It seems to happen more often now than it ever did when I played, and I'm curious what you think is going on because I think you have an inkling, and I want to hear what that inkling might be.
We'll talk about that at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. That's all I have is an inkling. I don't know for certain. But we will talk about that and get to our 2 final calls.
Your breadcrumbs usually bring you to a gingerbread house. They usually do.
Yes, and a beautiful print of Hansel and Gretel. Tausch, nothing is as beautiful as the Blue Mountains of Coors Light.
Coors Light is brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold package, so it's made to chill, and there's nothing better than that Lambeau with your family watching the Packers rout a bad team with that Coors Light in your hand. And those mountains, no problem staying blue. Last night, that's when you knew it was chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand. The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hunter Vaughn here. Coming up after the holidays, our coverage of high school basketball will be in full swing. From rivalries to the postseason, we'll have some of the best teams and the top players from around the area right here on ESPN Madison. Along with listening to every game on ESPN Madison and Wisconsin On Demand, you can subscribe to the ESPN Madison YouTube page and watch every game live.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Merry Christmas Eve, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Green Bay Game Day. As the push for the playoffs continues, well, I guess the Packers are going to the playoffs now. Countdown for the final 3 hours to kick off with Green Bay Game Day on 100.5 ESPN and live video streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Packers were huge winners last night on Monday Night Football as they smoked the New Orleans Saints by a score of 34-0. Josh Jacobs ran for 69 yards and a TD, while Jaden Reed contributed 76 yards on the receiving end. Zane Anderson snagged his first career interception and his first career start as the defense pitched the first shutout in the NFL this season. Jordan Love spoke to the media afterwards and looking ahead to Minnesota, feels this is a game the Packers need to win.
Very big game, division game, and then obviously we lost them early in the season. So one of these games that we got to get back. We got to go win this game, and we got to be able to beat these good teams. So the Vikings are a very good team, and we got to be able to go into their place and handle business. But it starts with the work we put in throughout the week, and we definitely owe these guys, and we'll be motivated to go play them.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch, which will include a couple more calls, trivia, Will Riley. Also, apparently, Josh Jacobs' gift to the offensive lineman. Very intrigued by this.
Yeah, it looks very sweet.
Oh, I wish there was a 65 one there. I'd like to see you walking around with one of these babies.
Yeah, I'd rock that.
Eat your heart out, Zadarius Smith. Am I right? We'll share that on our social media shortly. But Tausch, to answer your question, and I thought your line about David Bakhtiari, and look, maybe it's just that we don't have the information, right? I mean, once David finally talked and we got a better understanding of what he was dealing with and the uncertainty of whether he felt he could play or not, at least we had some gauge of what he was dealing with. Jair hasn't done that. And again, he is contractually obligated to talk to us from time to time. He has not done that very frequently, but I think Matt LaFleur felt burned in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And coaches don't like to feel burned. And to quote the great George Bush, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you shouldn't fool people. And he did not want to be fooled again. Isn't that a great quote? I love that quote.
Fool me once, can't get fooled again.
And the game room's closed if you're chilly. But, Tausch, at some point, I mean, the guy is an elite-level player. And to, I think it was Josh's point on his call, like, we were talking about this on Green Bay game day from the trailer at the Tundra Trio, Alex Strofe and Jared Bush and I. Like, this felt like a game where ease him back into it with getting him a little bit of work. But when it became clear he was going to be inactive, hey, if that means he's that much better against Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison,
does anybody think that? Does anybody feel
I don't
that
know,
way?
Right? I mean,
no, do you?
I think in big games when there's a lot on the line, he's still an elite player, and if he's healthy and he's focused, he can help you win.
Well, if he's healthy, he'd have played last night. Like, why wouldn't he have played?
Again, I don't know, and I don't know enough about the severity of his injury. I mean, there's this weird thing about how Rob Domofsky, who is very plugged in, after the injury in Jacksonville, and I'm not looking to out sources, but generally speaking, when player injury information is tweeted out, the source is not in the building. It's not Doc McKenzie. It's the player's agent. And after Jacksonville, The quote
Unless
was
a beat reporter's daughter is going in to get their knee looked at. Yeah,
Well,
typically it's not.
Been known to happen once or twice. But the quote was no structural damage.
Yep.
Jair tells us that he's got tells Matt Steinman of The Athletic that he's got a PCL tear. That was like a month ago that he told him that. And the injury, October 27th, Christmas is tomorrow. That is 2 months ago that it occurred. That usually is not the timeline. So you're right to be curious, skeptical, whatever it is. But I'll say this. Dude had a pick in the playoff game in Dallas. We had given up on him last year after
ago.
he appointed himself a captain.
That was a year
When the
ago.
stakes are high and the lights are brightest, he seems to rise to the occasion. Last
Except
night
for
would
that
not have been that.
Except for that San Francisco playoff game where he missed the tackle.
But he'd missed like 10 games in a row at that point.
He's going to be 5 games down now.
Yeah, I think he can still help them. But if I had an answer for you, I would report it, and I just don't. And you're totally
dig
right
around
to
a
be.
little bit. Get that shovel out. I just saw somebody. It's the craziest thing. Get in their car. You know how you got like a thing where you wipe the snow off, and you got the little ice scraper.
Yeah,
they had a little baby shovel that matched their color of their car. Never seen that before. Get your little shovel out.
Sounds like a great gift.
And start digging around 1265 and let's dig in and find out what the hell's going on.
I will look into this as
No, you
best
need to
I
dig.
can.
Get that shovel out and dig.
I will. But apparently, again, not to out any
It
sources.
matched the color of the car. That was
amazing.
so fascinating.
Again, the fact that if we do assume that the source was the agent and the agent said there was nothing wrong with his knee, that makes things even more. That makes it worse, not better, right?
The scenario, it just, there's a lot of parallels.
You're right.
To D-Bach. And whether it's communication, obviously LaFleur was uncomfortable then. He's uncomfortable now. Like if you ask point blank, hey, Matt, are you going to count on Jair to come back and play it all the rest of the season? What's his answer?
I don't know. That's a question that someone can ask at 12 noon when Matt LaFleur is available today.
Send it over to Domofsky. Put your little henchman to work. Get him to work.
I love a good henchman. Let's get to
was
a couple
Carmen
more
San
calls.
Diego a henchman, or was he the detective?
Well, first of all, I think Carmen's a she.
Yeah, Carmen was the one you found. You were the detective.
So I was a henchman.
Potentially.
I always loved going to Buenos Aires on that game. I don't know what it was. You go to Buenos Aires, stuff got done down in Buenos Aires.
I think a lot of stuff gets done in Buenos Aires, but that's another discussion for another podcast. Let's go to Sparky in Sussex, one of our henchmen.
Oh, you know that Yule log.
It's a Yule log day, baby.
Oh, boy.
Sparky, Merry Christmas, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing okay, gentlemen. Recovering from a little rotator cuff surgery, but you guys are making the time pass.
Ooh, that makes it tough
Sparky,
to be a
how
good
are you
henchman.
how are you sleeping? I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get any sleep when I had mine.
Sleep is a beast. 3 hours a day. I'm in that. I don't know if you have the chair couch or it raises.
Yeah, we went with a lazy boy. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It is a brutal recovery.
Yeah, but, this too shall pass. I had one 5 years ago, the other arm, but I'm right-handed, so this makes things a little more difficult.
Oh, that means, well, I'm not going to go down that road.
my
That's always
God.
a tricky question. I'm not going to do it. Mrs. Sparky gets called in to do some things that.
Okay.
Well, it's just
Riley.
it's part of the deal.
Nelly.
Sparky knows what I'm talking about. City knows
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm talking about when it comes to the right or left guard. It is what it is.
I feel fantastic.
Sparky.
I'm not going there.
Get that Yule log
makes
bird,
one.
Sparks.
I'd love your thoughts on the Packers, Sparky.
Oh, God.
Right about now.
Well, my positives and negatives are actually not about the Packers, and they're probably not in keeping with the spirit of the season, but my positive is the Detroit injury situation with Anzalone and Montgomery and Hutchinson, they're hoping to get them back. So that's I guess, a positive. I mean, I don't wish, obviously, anything to happen to anybody. But the negative is that Minnesota's getting healthier. They've got Harrison Smith coming back and Pace and a couple other people. So, again, I think it's the injury situation for everybody that's maybe could, tell the story of the whole season, how this is going to end.
How do you feel about the Packers' injury situation? Does it hinge on whether or not Christian Watson is A-OK?
I think we're deep enough to overcome the loss of one of our receivers. But I hated to see that, obviously, when that happened. I thought Jacobs was hurt, too, when he came out.
So
at
did
first,
I.
So that was even more.
Yeah, that was a concern. All right. We appreciate the call. Merry Christmas, and any more lascivious overtones for this conversation are officially over. Let's get to one more call before we get to trivia. Oh, my God.
Oh, Sparky.
It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you're talking Yule logs, and we're talking about love. That's what else do you want to talk about? That's great. I think we all hope we have partners in life that are willing to go to those depths.
Okay. I want to talk about.
You look at it as a negative. Most people look at it as a positive.
I don't look at it as a negative.
Thing to have.
I look at it as inappropriate.
What?
Let's
How's
go
it
to Mike.
inappropriate? He brought it up. Sparky, Merry Christmas, you all.
Safe
rascal.
harbor
You know
hours.
that Yule log's going to be burning hot tonight.
Let's talk to Mike and Racine and turn off Tausch's mic. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, Jason, Mark. How you guys doing? Thanks.
Doing
Thanks
awesome.
a lot for working today. I appreciate that, as all the fans do. It's great to hear you today on this Christmas Eve.
Thank you.
I'd like to wish all of you and your families and all the great Packer fans out there a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Well, we're not working tomorrow or Thursday, though, so sorry about that.
That's all right. No problem. Appreciate today. I didn't really want to talk about Jair, but since you guys were talking about it earlier, I would be 100% completely fine if he never played another down for the Packers.
Ooh.
And I think, the only structural injury he has is to his brain. I don't know what's in his head, but I think he reads his own press and thinks he's God's gift, and I really don't. I haven't seen that from him in the last couple of years, so we don't need him out there. That's my opinion, of course, and we'll see what happens if he comes back.
You might be right.
We'll see how he does, but I'd be certainly fine without him ever playing again for the Packers. As far as positives and negatives, I guess really the only thing positive for sure was that the Packers made the playoffs last night. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat a team that's down, and they held the pedal down for the whole game. They didn't give up, and they didn't play down to the Saints.
So, Mike, do you think
they did what they were supposed to do?
Do you think that's proof that they're a Super Bowl threat or not?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Not until
I agree with you.
They've got one test before the playoffs start. Well, two. I mean, the Bears will give them a good game, but the biggest test comes on Sunday at 3, and they need to prove that they can beat a better team. Are the Vikings a better team? No, maybe not better, but they're equal. They need to prove that they can beat one of the top teams that are going to the playoffs, and they haven't done that yet. So I will reserve judgment until about 6:30 on Sunday to see how it goes.
Well, be sure to call Tausch on the postgame show.
Okay, I will do that.
I think that postgame show is going to start actually when the game ends too. I am not envisioning any anything early on Sunday.
I do have some negatives. LaFleur, I love him to death. I wish he would focus less on the crowd noise or the wave. That's not his. That's not.
It does bother him more than it should. I'll give you that.
Agreed.
He needs to focus on not running trick plays on the 1 yard line when all they got to do is give it to the best back, one of the best backs in the league, and let them plow through the 300-pounders to score an easy touchdown instead of running a trick play. I hope we don't see that in the playoffs. The other thing, we've got an injury-prone receiver in Christian Watson, who's a great receiver. I love him to death as well. We don't need to see him running the ball and being exposed to getting hit by 300-pound linemen or 260-pound linebackers that are coming at him full steam. The only thing I want to see Watson doing is running down the field, beating a single defender, and getting wide open for the deep passes. That's what he's best at. There's no reason for him to be running the ball when we've got 3 great running backs. We proved, Reed and Wicks are great at doing the end arounds. We don't need to have Watson doing that and getting exposed to injury like he did last night. It's not necessary.
Yeah, and we'll see if that turns out to be an issue. Again,
I really hope it's not.
Yeah, I agree. I do think they're different. And look, the best play that he made, he didn't even get the ball because he is wide open on that 4th down play that he goes to Tucker Kraft instead. Hey, Mike, have a great Christmas. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys. You too. Thank you very much.
Great calls today from start to finish. And then, of course, Sparky's call, which was a great call from him and interesting from our end. Let's play some trivia. Riley, is this a Riley trivia special? Did you do this all by your own self?
Oh, yeah, I did. These are Riley questions today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
MMA Tuesday.
Yeah, Christmas UFC themed trivia. No, it's Christmas history today.
All right, Christmas history. It is they have the 12 days of Christmas. Today is, I guess, the 11th day of Christmas, right? If my math is right, which means caller 12. 12 days of Christmas, caller 12, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Plays trivia next after Tausch tells us about the big red fella and those unqualified elves that Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin refuse to hire.
Indeed, and you know what? There's no better gift you could give than security and comfortability in your own home. And you can ensure your home remains comfortable before you reach the brutal post-holiday winter. Yep, Santa Claus, he's a magical fella. His elves, they are not qualified to build Pella windows. There's just too many options and customization. So instead of going through the big red fella, take advantage of this Pella deal going on. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on New Year's Eve. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety.
Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Looking to kickstart a healthier lifestyle? Prairie Athletic Club has everything you need, and now's the perfect time to join the pack. Sarah Tauscher here, and for a limited time, you can save $10 per month for your first year and enjoy 3 months of hot yoga for free. Don't wait. Your healthiest lifestyle starts now. Join today and discover why the pack is consistently voted the best place to work out. Visit prairieathletic.com today. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Monday, February 24th for Andy North Trivia Night, presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and in addition to the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6 p.m. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Trumpets sound and angels sing. Listen to what they say.
Thanks for all the calls today. Some really good ones. Allow me to rest my voice a little bit. Let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Ted in Mayville. Ted, good morning. How are you today?
Good. Good morning, guys. How are you?
We are awesome. Merry Christmas to you. And question number one.
What is Mayville's nickname?
The Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay, I always get that confused with Clintonville, which is the Truckers, which is a great.
That is a great mascot.
Mayville Cardinals. I like that. Okay.
All right, question number one, Ted. It is not Cardinals related. According to tradition, what do children typically get in their stockings if they're on Santa's naughty list? Do they get a lump of coal, a Bears jersey, or pickleball paddles?
Ooh.
Oh, boy, I would love to say a certain one, but I got to go with the lump of coal.
Get the question right. Well done. I think Riley's a little jealous of the pickleball paddles that Jesse got for Christmas yesterday.
Yeah, it was nice.
No, I'm jealous of the National Park blanket.
Oh, is that? It is a great gift. I couldn't appreciate what Jason got more. It couldn't be more on the opposite ends of the spectrum. And the ironic part was, we also, I'm not even going to go down that road. Do you think AI? Do you think Santa will be able to start like diagnosing and saying, "Oh, those Wilde girls, they did off of this stuff," and then decide what they're going to bring over to the Wilde house based off of all the data that they collect? Like, do you think that's going to be a thing or not?
I don't know. I mean, he could ask Grok like you do.
Grok. All right, here we go. What Christmas decoration was originally made from strands of silver? Is it mistletoe, string lights, or tinsel?
We'll put tinsel.
Two for two in Riley's Christmas history trivia.
Pretty nice little question so far, youngster.
Here comes the
Pretty
doozy.
good so far.
Here's question 3. If you couldn't tell, I was praising the first 2 questions because this one will be a bit of a challenge. Would have been better off with some sort of Christmas MMA theme. All right, here we go, Ted. Buckle your safety belt. What was the name of the man the historical Saint Nick, do I need to put in allegedly here? Allegedly punched.
This sounds blasphemous.
For being a heretic.
Oh my God! I love the fact you got heretic in a question.
I did not
you
have
are
heretic.
special, Riley. You really are. You are a special young man.
I did not have heretic on my bingo card today. So, what was the name of the man the historical Saint Nick punched for being a heretic, and he subsequently had cauliflower ear like Riley once did? Was that man that received this alleged punch Enoch, Arius, or Apollo? Yeah, that's what I said.
Enoch.
It's a good guess. All right, Riley. Great opportunity here to enlighten all of us, because I don't think anyone else on the panel knows what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, so the historical St. Nicholas, it was reported back during the Council of Nicaea that he punched the heretic Arius for not believing that Jesus was fully God and fully man. He was like, Jesus was just a man. He wasn't God, and St. Nicholas did not like that, so Santa punched him in the grill. Supposedly.
That's not how we solve problems at the Council of Nicaea. What are we doing? They're working on the Nicene Creed, and then one guy's punching another guy?
Yep, well, maybe you got to ask Santa. I heard he left 6 hours ago to start delivering presents. I'm sure he'd love to enlighten the rest of us.
I don't know if that
I
question
think
gets
his
a
load
lump of
got
coal
lighter
or
now
not.
that he's got AI. No, I think now that he's got AI at his availability, I don't think he's got to log the same amount of hours as he used to. That could be wrong.
Ted, I'd like to apologize, but I have to be honest, I am entertained by that preposterous, ridiculous question. So, unfortunately for you, it meant a wrong answer. So you got 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. We appreciate you playing, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as
Merry
well.
Christmas.
All right. As much as I would like to revoke Riley after that question, we will not do that. We will play that. A Christmas-themed Whoa, Riley coming up next after Tausch tells us again about the lubricating value of Coors Light going down smooth.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
Yeah, like my voice, like honey
getting on
in the
Tausch
tea.
earlier.
Oh, yeah. That's what you meant. I don't know what Jason meant.
Just
but
trying
what
to
I
fit
know,
in.
Sitting around the fire, enjoying Christmas with a cold Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It is only 102 calories. There ain't going to be anything better. Santa coming down that chimney with a big old case of Coors Light. It's what I need when I want a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Well, Riley is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Celebrate Wisconsin hospitality at a Buck and Honey's location near you. You can give your friends or loved ones a memorable experience with a Buck and Honey's gift card. Or treat yourself. For every $100 in gift cards purchased, you'll get $20 back to use at Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie, Monona, Waunakee, or the new location in Mount Horeb. Oh, don't forget to make yourself reservations for the holidays. Offer availability between November 15th and December 31st. Locally owned and operated. We'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. The holidays are here, and there is no better way to celebrate than with the delicious brandy or whiskey from Door County Distillery. It's the holidays. People are coming over. You're mixing up old fashions. No better way to do it than with the cherry brandy from Door County Distillery, made with local Door County cherries, or the 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey. No matter if you want your brandy old-fashioned or your whiskey old-fashioned, everybody's pleased with Door County Distillery. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Wilde And Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
After that stellar round of trivia, it's time now for another stellar Will Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde And Tausch.
Alrighty, felt I'd get in the spirit of things. Don my
Nice!
my
Look at
Santa
you!
hat. Thank you. Let me turn the music down. Goodness gracious. So, as you might expect, a little Christmas-themed Woe Riley today, starting with, what's the best Christmas tradition you or your family, the best one you've been a part of?
Ooh. Great question. I love this caroling that we've started doing. We've done this now for probably 10 years at a minimum, where we go out and sing a little bit. That's been something I never thought that I'd really love doing that. And then you have kids, and I think at least Eleanor I know enjoys it. Max I think used to. I'm not sure he still does to the same degree.
Fair.
But that's been a tradition that we've done on Christmas Eve. We'll do that tonight after Christmas Eve Mass, and then we go over and have a great dinner, come back, and then sing a little bit, and then we finish the night off before Santa comes, and we play Clue.
Oh.
And I'm going to be going for broke to win a game of Clue tonight. That's kind of been our tradition. I like all of them, but if you're picking one, I think the caroling kind of just gets you in that mindset for Christmas.
I like
nice.
that.
Colonel Mustard.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the library.
We have done. We did
sing
not
a Christmas carol and then get through solving a bludgeoning. Yeah, that's all part of the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
We did not do it during COVID. We returned to doing it last year on Christmas Day. After we get done opening presents and eating and everything else, we have these little care packages we put together with like hot cocoa and peppermint stick or two and some other things. And we drop them off at the local fire departments and the police station and the hospitals to thank the people that are working on Christmas. So Paula and the girls came up with that a couple of years ago when they were little, so more than a couple now. Gosh, they're so much older now. So that we started doing that, and I've actually run into multiple firefighters and police officers who listen to the show. And so got to hear about how much they love our show, even in Green Bay. So that was fun the couple times that's happened. But yeah, that is our little tradition that we like to do.
Nice.
What about you, Riley? What are you going to do?
Let's see. Tonight,
Yeah, youngster.
Yeah, my family, it varies from year to year. I feel like we don't have a ton of set traditions, but usually we will go out to Ohio to visit my mom's side of the family, and that's always a good time. Always spoiled a little bit by the grandparents, which is never a bad thing. Never. I always enjoy it. It's fun, but nothing. I don't know. Nothing that really comes to mind. Tonight we're going to Christmas Eve Mass. Then we're celebrating with my dad's side of the family, which will be great. And tomorrow, just Christmas with the family. Typically we'll put on a record. We got the Elvis Christmas vinyl. That should be nice.
Thank you very much.
Exactly. And yeah.
Is that one of your imitations that you have in your not so stellar repertoire?
Yeah. No. My friend does a really good Elvis impression. I cannot.
Okay.
Which
Appreciate
means
your
Thank you very much.
you know it's bad if I'm admitting it's not good. But actually, now that I've thought about it, we do. I have 6 siblings, and we do a Secret Santa with all my siblings. Now that there's so many of us, and we're all old enough to understand what each other would want, and that's become a tradition over the past 4 or 5 years. And that's definitely some of the best moments on Christmas Day are opening up the secret sibling Santa gifts, for sure. It's been a blast.
Nice. Whoa, Riley.
Whoa, Nelly.
Alrighty. Speaking of presents, what's the best gift you have ever received? Whether that be on Christmas, a birthday, whatever. Can you think of it off the top of your head?
Yeah, I got a great gift yesterday. We love the national parks, and my wife is a huge photographer. So this Christmas season, we've gotten some nice. We got a Kringle from a family. We get nice gifts, but the thought and energy and effort that was put in by someone to get us this huge keepsake that we'll be able to find a spot for all these great pictures that Sarah has taken. Very thoughtful, and one of my favorite gifts that we've received.
That was nice.
That's true. Not going to leave that. I guarantee you one thing. We're not going to throw that in a dumpster.
No one threw anything in a dumpster yet. So I'm glad that you like it. I did. I was really excited about it, and I get a lot.
It's a great gift.
And you could cuddle up in your blankie, and you can look at all the great pictures of all your kids growing up through the years. I think Paula and the girls and I were talking about it yesterday when Paula helped me wrap it before I had to go to the Tundra Trio, and that's a really cool tradition you guys have. And our girls are jealous of Max and Eleanor that you guys do that. It's a really, really neat thing. I don't think it's too late for us to start. Might be a little bit cost prohibitive for us, but it is a really, really, really great tradition. And I'm glad that I could give you something to commemorate the cool stuff that you guys
do. It
do.
is some cool stuff, no doubt about it.
Riley, what's next before we run out of time?
All righty, let's move on to one more. Got some options here. Does the NFL belong on Christmas Day? I feel like the NFL is just taking over everything. Christmas Day used to belong to the NBA, and the NFL just swooped in and took it. So I don't know. Should Christmas be reserved for the NBA, or does the NFL belong on Christmas?
No, the NFL's better. It's a better product. It's better. So the NBA had it for a while. Kudos to them. The NFL has taken over. I am looking forward to the NBA can't even put the blanket Bucks on.
True.
You have two of the best 75 players in the world. You just won a big cup that you've been promoting, and you don't even put them on. To heck with it. I am all in on the NFL on Christmas. I think the fact that they did it on a Wednesday lets you know it don't matter what day of the week they're doing it. They're going to put games, and they're going to put them on a streaming service that pays them an inordinate amount of money to have it, and we as a fan base will watch it.
So, did you watch the Tyson-Jake Paul fight?
I did. Yep.
That was a waste.
And there were
What do you mean
glitches.
it was a waste? It was free.
It was glitchy dog, right?
What? No, watch it a little. We watched it a little bit tape delayed, and it was fine. There are no glitches. We watched it 2 minutes late. Stayed off of Twitter, and I mean, was it a great fight? No. Was it something that was nostalgic beyond belief? Yeah.
So you're not concerned about the quality of the product of the broadcast from the NFL. That's why I asked it.
Okay.
I am not. No. I'm a little concerned. They got 700 people on pregame and post. I hope they're not wasting all their resources on a 30-person pregame and post. Put it on the streaming and the broadband so that you put it together a good product. Greg Olson, I think, is doing the game, which I'm excited about. At least I thought that he was. Maybe Noah Eagle. So there's some things that I'm very excited about as far as who's going to be doing the broadcast. And you don't need 72 people on a pregame show on Netflix. That I can assure you.
Takes a village to do a pregame show on Netflix. All right, that is it for O'Reilly. Tausch needs to tell us again about how successful he was on everything other than the longer field goal on Prize Picks.
Good night on Prize Picks, and tomorrow is going to be fantastic. It's Merry Picksmas on Prize Picks. I haven't butchered it since the early part of December, and now I'm not going to. We have it figured out. Joker tomorrow, 0.5. Mahomes, 230. I think I'm going to go less. He's not been a stat guy this year. Running the football, short week. He's been injured. I'm going to go less there. I think I'm going to go more on touchdowns for Lamar Jackson. He's going to have a day. That's the beauty of Prize Picks. You turn those sports opinions, your thoughts, into real cash, and it is real. You used to be, it's 100 times your money. Now, with as little as 4 or 5 correct picks, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Download the app today. We're going to get Riley out on it today. He is going to win big.
True.
And if he doesn't, he's still going to get $50 instantly after he plays his first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, Riley. Get that $50 instantly. Where else are you going to download an app, put in the great state of Wisconsin, WI, and somebody's handing you $50? I don't know. Maybe somebody else is. I know Prize Picks does it. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game. We'll wrap up the Christmas Eve edition next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. College football playoff round 1 in the books. The 12-team format, a new change compared to when Barry Alvarez sat on the original selection committee. Coach pulling back the curtain on that process.
If you lobbied, you were basically shut out. I thought it was very professional. I thought the people were prepared, but I thought it was really managed well. Everybody voiced their opinion. and then consensus led us to decisions.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrowed. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Imagine a place where all your fitness needs are under one roof. Sarah Tauscher here. The Prairie Athletic Club has everything you need, from group fitness, personal training, CrossFit, and so much more. Join now and you can save $10 per month for your first year and enjoy 3 months of hot yoga for free. Kickstart your healthiest lifestyle all in one place at the back. Stop by today or visit prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
All right, before we go, thanks to Riley and Tausch for helping limit my voice efforts on the program today. Thanks to all of you who called in. This was last night when it looked like Matt LaFleur's press conference was over. I had not asked a question. Matt looked at me, thought maybe I had one. It did not sound good. Here was that exchange.
How much concern do you have about Evan Williams?
A little under the weather there, Jason?
I barely can talk off sun.
Just a little bit under the weather, yes, Matt, I was. It was a long day. There was a lot of talking, and by the end of the night at 10:30, it was a struggle. So I got nothing more to talk about today.
Hey.
No,
what a warrior.
Stop. That's not true at all.
What a competitor.
Yes.
Kudos. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome for my service. Yeah. All right, that's it for us today. Tausch and I are off tomorrow for Christmas Day. We're also off on Thursday. You'll have Jim, Matt, and Molly filling in for us during our normal window. And then we will be back on Friday to get you ready for Packers-Vikings. And then I will head to Minneapolis, and I will be there for Green Bay game day, pregame, postgame, and to see if the Packers get that signature win that we would argue they still don't have. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great Christmas, and take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe